Coffee Quickie. What's going on, everyone? Eric here. Hope you're all doing good today. In this video, we're going to be looking at the HiBrew H4C Barista Edition. So this is a travel espresso maker. I'm sure you've seen a million of these, and this one is a little different than the Outin in some ways, a little different than other brands like Cwicky or Icape, however you say it. It has a couple strengths and weaknesses, and let's just go over that really quick. Before I forget, I do want to mention that HiBrew did send me this model here with the expectation that I make a review about it, but I have no strings attached. I can say whatever I like or don't like about it. Just want to be upfront about that before I forget. So what does this do? This makes espresso on the go, right? It is a little espresso pump and a little water heater, and that's basically just it. It has batteries, it is rechargeable, and it makes espresso. It really does. It makes real espresso, and you can heat your own water for it. If you're bringing it from room temperature, you probably can make about 2 or 3 espressos with this. If you are bringing hot water to the party and you just want to heat it up a little bit, you can probably make something closer to like 6 or 7 espressos with this guy before it runs out of juice. You can also run it just straight through if you wanted to use cold water or room temperature water, or if you trust that your water is hot enough already, you can run it straight through without using the heating element. It has an adjustable temperature between 95 degrees Celsius and 85 degrees Celsius. So a pretty decent range. Comparing that to the Outin portable espresso maker, which is probably the most popular portable espresso maker on the market, this guy has the ability to heat the water and has an adjustable temperature. That's kind of how it separates itself from the Outin. Also, Outins do not have at this moment, I don't believe, actual shower screen for your espresso, meaning that it doesn't have a great water distribution. Now, this guy right here has a 51 millimeter portafilter, 51 millimeter head, and it works pretty well. The guy included basket is a regular 51 millimeter basket. It is about, if you're using medium to medium dark roast, you're gonna be able to fit about 13 or 14 grams of espresso in here. Lighter roasts, you might make it up to like 16 or 17 grams in here. But all in all, it is just a regular basket. So you can use any 51 millimeter basket or accessories that you want. All right, so what does this guy come with? Of course, you get the actual body, you get the machine, you get the 51 millimeter portafilter that screws on here. You get a little cup for brewing. You get a little brush for cleaning things up and scooping. You get the little WDT tool, which is super cute. Actually, the same WDT tool that they send with the Lacine X from Maxime's du Paris, exactly is the same one. They give you a little stand, and this is really clutch and really key because this stand is kind of essential to having a easy brewing experience. If you want to hold this thing while you're brewing espresso, I mean, you have to be really careful if you don't want you want things to be level. If you're tilting or angled or not staying still, it could affect your brewing a little bit. So it's really good to have a little stand for it. I like that stand very much. You get a little dosing funnel here, a 51 millimeter dosing funnel that's magnetic so you don't spill your grinds while you're using your WDT tool. And you get a cute little 51 millimeter tamper, the cutest tamper in the world, with these little ridges on here. You don't really need those ridges, they don't do anything, but they look nice. Anyway, all in all, that's what you get. You get everything you need to make coffee except a grinder and the beans. So all in all, it is a nice, satisfying little machine to work with. One of the things about this, one upgrade that I like about this guy right here is that the whole unit here is all metal as far as the brew head goes, and so is this little portafilter that holds the portafilter basket. Everything is all metal, so that's a lot more durable and a lot better heat retention. The biggest advantage to HiBrew's machine is that it has replaceable batteries. So the batteries themselves just pop out, and for whatever reason you wanted to bring this guy backpacking into the wilderness and you knew you weren't going to be able to recharge it, you could bring a second pack of batteries that you could buy directly from HiBrew, and those come with a rapid charger as well. So you could have backup batteries and a rapid charger, because actually charging this guy through the wall outlet takes a long time. I mean, it takes hours, and I would recommend just plugging it in and leaving there overnight so that you don't have to know how long it takes. So it is good to have a backup set of batteries, and that is one thing that HiBrew did preemptively, thought of that to actually fix that pain point. So as I mentioned, the espresso is completely satisfactory. Because it is a little bit of a process to make it, I think dialing it in might be the most frustrating part for people, because you don't want to be running lots of shots and discarding shots. You want to kind of have your parameters more or less dialed in beforehand. Because this is a real portafilter basket and it is coming through a real shower screen, you know, it's not any more forgiving than any other espresso machine. So you do need to have things dialed in properly, have your grind proper. And in fact, you don't want to be grinding overly fine to the point where you could choke the machine out, because there is no pressure release or anything like that on this machine. And as a battery operated pump, I'm sure that would put a lot of strain on it. But I think that would be maybe the most frustrating thing, is dialing in things out there on the road would be frustrating when you only have limited battery life. And it is a little bit of a production to fill this thing up, empty it, all that stuff that comes with having a portable device. The thing that I will mention is that when you want to use your own accessories, you can really make the experience even easier. So because this basket right here is a little bit small for the settings that I want to use, I have a deeper basket here. This right here is the Hue basket from IMS. This is a 51 millimeter that I use on a lot of my 51 millimeter machines. It's a little bit deeper. This is like an 18 to 20 gram basket, and so I can fit more coffee in here. And having a deeper puck did give me a little bit better shot for what I like from this machine. So that was really cool that I could just pop this in and make espresso, even though this is just a little tiny battery operated unit. I could also use my 51 millimeter grooming tool and my palm tamper, which I already had, which is cool because I don't know, I'm not the best at giving a nice flat tamp, I guess, with the old fashioned kind of tamper. So it was good to have this to kind of correct things for me. So it's cool that you can bring your own accessories if you already have 51 millimeter accessories. So however this guy works, the pump is a 20 bar pump. So that's pretty cool. Nice, a very strong pump. I have no idea what the pressure is hitting in here, but you're gonna be getting at least that 9 bars, which is pretty good for espresso. So there we are. We have a nice strong pump in there, and there you go. What are the cons about this machine? Well, in my experience, the cons are the batteries get drained really quick. So unless you're going to be able to charge this guy overnight, you're going to probably find after a couple days of use that you're going to run out of batteries on it. One con that I want to mention is that you have to thread this on, right? Which is going to probably help lock in the pressure. That's probably one of the reasons what they have you thread it on. But finding the right spot to thread it in can sometimes be challenging, and I don't want to force the threads because I don't want to strip them. And I feel like until you really get a good feeling for this, there's a chance that you might mess up the threads, so you have to be kind of careful, and it is a little clumsy, and you don't want to be knocking your puck around. You want your puck to stay settled, so I do feel like that is one flaw in the design. I guess one negative for a lot of people would be that if you were traveling by airplane, I mean, this guy has a lot of rechargeable batteries in it. I don't think you're gonna be able to throw this guy in your luggage. If you want to put it in your carry-on, it is a hefty unit, so it's gonna take up a lot of that precious space in your carry-on. But that's just a minor gripe. One of the things that you have to kind of like get familiar with this machine is you have to kind of start paying attention to how much water your puck absorbs, right? And for every coffee, that's going to be a little bit different. Depending if it's light roast or dark roast, it's gonna either absorb less or more water. So you're gonna have to think about how much water you want to put in here to get the right ratio out. If I was doing a 14 gram brew in here and I put in 50 millimeters of water, that is going to probably get over half that water is going to get absorbed by the puck. So I might not get the right ratio of espresso to water that I want if I want a 1-to-2 ratio. So you're gonna have to kind of play around with that. And I find that actually, in my experience, the espresso, a little bit longer of a shot, does seem to taste really good when out of this particular espresso machine. So I'm running more towards a 1-to-3 ratio. So for my 15 or 14 gram puck that I'm doing in here, I'm doing 75 millimeters of water, and I've found that's getting me about 40 grams or so of yield in here. So in other words, it's a pretty long shot, but I really enjoyed the flavor of that. Clearly this is for an espresso nerd kind of person who likes to play, and that is just one of the factors that you're gonna have to consider. Cool. I got just as good shots of espresso out of this as I do out of any of the HiBrew 51 millimeter plug in the wall standard espresso machines. So I really don't have any complaints about the quality. All in all, this is a very decent option for a travel espresso maker that is battery operated if you don't want to have to worry about getting your own hot water, if you don't want to have to press your own espresso, if you want this to do it all for you. Pretty cool, pretty compact, adjustable temperatures, real basket here, 51 millimeter basket. You can play with any of your 51 millimeter accessories that you want to add onto it. So you can add a precision basket, you can get a different tamper, and also comes with a stand. Great for on the road, probably better for hotel stays than for camping. All this is very good as far as the ecosystem out there for portable espresso makers. This guy right here does really kind of get you set up with everything you would need. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.